What if I told you one of the most beloved kids' adventure films of all time almost ended with a giant octopus fight no one ever saw? In the summer of 1985, The Goonies hit theaters and became a cultural phenomenon. Directed by Richard Donner and produced by Steven Spielberg, it was the ultimate childhood fantasy: treasure maps, pirate ships, secret tunnels, and a gang of kids misfit enough to save their homes. For those who grew up in the VHS era, this wasn't just a movie, it was a rite of passage. Decades later, The Goonies hasn't faded. Its quotes, "Hey you guys," and "Goonies never say die," are still shouted at comic conventions. Its cast went on to become Hollywood icons. And buried under all that nostalgia, a treasure chest of weird, unbelievable facts that even die-hard fans missed. Today on Vintaverse, we're digging up 20 weird facts about the Goonies. From deleted scenes and cursed props to off-screen chaos that could have sunk the entire production. Number 20. The infamous deleted octopus scene. Ask any fan about the Goonies' biggest mystery, and they'll mention the octopus. If you only watched the theatrical cut, you probably never saw it. But in early versions of the movie, the kids battle a giant mechanical octopus in the final cavern. The scene was cut for pacing, and because the puppet looked, well, ridiculous. But here's the weird part. Data still mentions the octopus in the finished movie. During the rescue scene, he shouts, "The octopus was very scary," confusing generations of fans. Years later, the deleted scenes surfaced on TV airings and home video extras, becoming one of cinema's strangest lost moments. For 80s kids, discovering the octopus felt like uncovering buried treasure. Proof that the Goonies still held secrets decades later. Number 19. Spielberg's hidden hands all over the film. While Richard Donner directed the movie, Spielberg's fingerprints are everywhere. He co-wrote the story, oversaw casting, and was reportedly on set almost daily. Cast members later admitted they often couldn't tell who was directing which scenes. One actor said, "We'd hear Spielberg yell action one minute and Donner yell cut the next." It created an unusual two-director dynamic, one that gave the Goonies a mix of Spielbergian wonder and Donner's grittier adventure serial energy. This weird duality is why the Goonies feels like a perfect bridge between E.T. and Indiana Jones. Heartfelt kids in peril, but with the danger cranked to 11.
Number 18. The cast didn't see the pirate ship until filming. The Goonies' final act, stumbling into a massive cavern to see One-Eyed Willie's full pirate ship, is pure cinematic magic. The awe on the kids' faces feels so real because it was real. Donner and Spielberg deliberately kept the ship hidden from the young cast during production. When the curtain dropped for the reveal, cameras rolled on their genuine reactions of shock and wonder. The kids were so overwhelmed that Josh Brolin, Brand, reportedly shouted an unscripted expletive, forcing Donner to redo the take. This practical surprise technique, reminiscent of E.T.'s first reveal of the alien, added authenticity no CGI could replicate. It's one of many moments that made the Goonies feel like an adventure unfolding in real time. Number 17. Corey Feldman's prank wars went too far. Corey Feldman, Mouth, was already a rising 80s teen star thanks to Gremlins and Stand By Me. On the Goonies set, he quickly became the prank king, but some antics crossed the line. Feldman hid fake spiders in co-stars' trailers, smeared peanut butter on door handles, and once replaced someone's lunch with prop fish guts from the pirate ship set. Production halted more than once because actors were laughing or gagging too hard to finish scenes. The chaos reflected the energy of the movie itself: loud, messy, and barely controlled. Looking back, cast members credit those pranks for building the real-life bond that made their on-screen friendship believable, even if it drove the adult insane. Number 16. The treasure map was real and went missing. In the movie, the treasure map leads the Goonies on their epic quest. Here's the weird part. The map wasn't just a prop, it was a fully hand-painted, antique-styled piece created by production designers. So authentic that it looked like a legitimate artifact. Rumor has it that after filming Wrapped, the map mysteriously disappeared. Some say a crew member borrowed it. Others believe a cast member kept it as a souvenir. Decades later, collectors still speculate about its whereabouts, making it one of Hollywood's most sought-after missing props. A fitting fate for a movie about lost treasure.
Number 15. The famous water slide finale was pure 80s chaos. One of the Goonies' most exhilarating moments is the water slide sequence leading into One-Eyed Willie's lair. It looks like a kid's dream come true, sliding down into a pirate treasure hoard. But filming it was a nightmare of logistics and danger. The slides were built from real fiberglass and dropped the cast into a massive water tank. There were no stunt doubles. Every scream you hear is genuine. The young actors loved it at first, but soon discovered the slides were painfully fast and scraped their elbows raw. Some kids went home with bruises, others begged for just one more take, like real-life thrill seekers. This chaotic energy is what 80s filmmaking thrived on. Practical stunts, no green screens, and kids actually risking bumps and bruises to sell the magic. Today, you couldn't get away with it, but it's part of what gives the Goonies its authentic, lived-in adventure vibe. Number 14. Josh Brolin's first movie and his most embarrassing moment. Before he was Thanos or Cable, Josh Brolin was just a teenager nervously filming his first movie role as Brand, Mikey's older brother, and he made one of the most famous accidental bloopers in 80s cinema. During the pirate ship reveal, Brolin was so shocked by the set that he shouted, "Holy!" completely unscripted. Richard Donner had to reshoot the scene because the movie was aiming for a PG rating, but Brolin's slips became legendary, still joked about at cast reunions decades later. For Brolin, the Goonies launched a career spanning decades, but he still admits nothing compares to that summer of sweaty Oregon caves, pirate sets, and childhood chaos. Number 13. Real treasure was hidden on set. The Goonies is about kids hunting for treasure, but rumor has it there was real treasure hidden in plain sight. Production designers reportedly snuck real gold coins and antique jewelry into the pirate ship set to make the treasure look authentic on camera. Most pieces were fake, but a handful were legitimate props from antique shops. After filming Wrapped, some items went missing, sparking decades of speculation. Were they stolen, lost, or kept by the cast as souvenirs? This rumor has fueled collectors' obsession with the Goonies. At fan conventions, people still hunt for Willie's gold, props rumored to be worth thousands if authenticated.
Number 12. Spielberg's secret cameo. Steven Spielberg didn't just co-write and produce the movie, he may have secretly appeared on screen. In the scene where the kids wave goodbye to the police boat at the end, Equal Eyed fans claim one of the crewmen resembles a young Spielberg in uniform. The cameo was never officially confirmed, but fans have dissected frames for decades. It wouldn't be out of character. Spielberg loved slipping cameos into 80s projects, like his voicing Gremlins and brief appearance in Blue Thunder. Whether true or not, it's become part of the Goonies urban legend, one of many fan-fueling mysteries that keep the film alive in pop culture. Number 11. The original ending was way darker. Believe it or not, the original draft of the Goonies didn't end with cheering families and a happy reunion on the beach. It ended with a much darker twist. In early versions, One-Eyed Willie's treasure ship sinks completely, taking much of the treasure with it. The Goonies return home with only a handful of coins, still facing eviction. The bittersweet ending was scrapped after test audiences, mostly kids, reacted poorly. Spielberg and Donner rewrote the finale into the more uplifting version we know, complete with the triumphant reveal that the kids' homes were saved. This tonal shift was very 80s. Audiences wanted their adventure movies thrilling but ultimately hopeful, a formula that made the Goonies timeless. Number 10. The afterlife of the Goondocks. A real town became a pilgrimage. Most fans assumed the Goondocks were just a movie set. In reality, the film's small-town backdrop was shot in Astoria, Oregon, a real working-class coastal town that has since become a pilgrimage site for movie buffs. In the 1980s, Astoria's quiet streets and weathered docks perfectly captured the film's blue-collar charm, a community on the edge of being forgotten. The production infused real locals as extras, immortalizing the town forever in pop culture. Decades later, Astoria hosts Goonies Day every June, drawing fans from the globe.
Visitors retrace the kids' steps, snap photos at Mikey's house, and even slide down replica water slides built for festivals. It's become one of cinema's most enduring movie tourism locations. A real-life Neverland for 80s kids now raising kids of their own.
Number 9. The pirate ship was so real, they tried to keep it. When One-Eyed Willie's pirate ship sails into view, it looks like something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. That's because it practically was. The ship, nicknamed Inferno, was built full-scale and fully functional in a massive soundstage. Constructed with real wood and sails, the Inferno was so convincing that the cast assumed it was a museum-quality replica. The detail was so extraordinary, from hand-carved figureheads to fully stocked barrels, that when production wrapped, several cast members begged to buy the ship outright. Warner Brothers refused, and tragically, the ship was dismantled shortly after filming. In today's era of prop preservation, it would have been a museum centerpiece, but in the throwaway culture of 80s movie production, treasures like this were often scrapped, making behind-the-scenes photos of the Inferno highly sought-after collector's items today. Number 8. The movie was filmed in sequence, a rare 80s decision. Most movies film scenes out of order, but The Goonies was shot largely in chronological order, from the attic map discovery to the pirate ship escape. This was unusual for Hollywood, but crucial for the young cast. Director Richard Donner wanted the kids' relationships to feel authentic, their bond growing as their characters' journey progressed. Shooting sequentially allowed the cast to experience the adventure in real time, creating genuine wonder and exhaustion as the story escalated. This technique mirrors what Rob Reiner did in Stand By Me 1986, another nostalgic 80s kid adventure. Both films capture that fleeting magic of childhood friendship, raw, messy, and unforgettable, something modern productions rarely replicate with green screens and rigid shooting schedules. Number 7. The Fratellis were inspired by real crime families. The Fratellis, Mama Fratelli and her bumbling sons, Jake and Francis, are among the most bizarre villains of 80s cinema. Their exaggerated slapstick hides a darker inspiration: real-life American crime families. Writers drew loosely on infamous bootlegging clans of the 1930s and 40s, mixing them with comedic influences like the Marx Brothers. Anne Ramsey's gravelly performance as Mama Fratelli channeled real mob matriarchs, tough, ruthless women who ran criminal empires behind closed doors. The Fratellis' over-the-top dynamic fits right in with the era's villain canon, alongside Ghostbusters Gozer or Gremlins Stripe, absurd yet rooted in just enough realism to unsettle audiences. It's this balance of humor and menace that made them unforgettable. Number 6. The VHS boom turned Goonies into a sleepover legend. When The Goonies hit theaters in 1985, it was a moderate box office success, but its real cultural explosion came 2 years later on VHS. In the late 80s, video rentals were the beating heart of pop culture. The Goonies became a sleepover staple, rented endlessly for birthday parties and Friday nights. Its adventurous tone, treasure maps, booby traps, kids outsmarting adults was perfect for repeat viewing. By the time 90s kids discovered it on cable reruns, The Goonies had transformed from a summer hit into a generational rite of passage. Its VHS cover, the gang dangling from a cliff, became one of the most recognizable video store images of the decade, immortalizing the film as part of 80s childhood itself. Number 5. Sloth transformation took hours every day. Sloth, the gentle giant with the heart of gold, is one of cinema's most beloved misfits. But bringing him to life was a feat of 80s prosthetic artistry. Actor John Matizakis, a former NFL player, endured 5 hours of makeup daily to become Sloth. His iconic drooping eye was controlled by a hidden remote, allowing puppeteers to move it independently, a first for practical effects at the time. The heat inside the mask was brutal. Matizakis sweated so much that makeup artists had to frequently pause filming to cool him down. Sloth's look, part terrifying, part lovable, perfectly embodied the movie's tone, finding beauty in the weird. Fans still shout his famous line, "Hey you guys," at conventions, a testament to how this unlikely hero stole hearts worldwide. Number 4. A cast reunion rekindled the magic decades later. In 2020, during the global lockdown, Josh Gad hosted a virtual reunion of the Goonies cast. For fans, it was like opening a time capsule. Sean Astin, Corey Feldman, Ke Huy Quan, Bran, Martha Plimpton, all back together. Older, wiser,
but still undistinguishably Goonies. They reminisced about scrapes, improvised lines, and the chaotic energy of filming in Oregon caves. Even Steven Spielberg popped in to reflect on the movie's enduring magic. The reunion sparked the viral wave of nostalgia, introducing a whole new generation to the film, and reigniting rooters of a long-rumored sequel that still hasn't materialized.
Number 3. The film inspired Stranger Things and beyond. Without the Goonies, there might never have been Stranger Things. The hit Netflix show borrows heavily from the 80s kid adventure template, a group of misfits on bikes, small-town secrets, and supernatural danger lurking in tunnels. The Duffer Brothers have openly cited the Goonies as an influence, even casting Sean Astin in Season 2 as a wink to fans. Beyond Stranger Things, the movie's DNA can be found in countless modern films, from Super 8 to It 2017, all chasing that perfect mix of danger, humor, and childhood wonder. Number 2. A real-life treasure hunt inspired fan obsession. Over the years, fans have treated the Goonies as more than a movie, a real treasure map. Inspired by the film, unofficial scavenger hunts popped up in Oregon, with locals hiding coins, fake maps, and pirate trinkets for visitors. In 2010, Astoria itself leaned into the legend, launching an official treasure hunt during Goonies Day celebrations. Fans followed clues around filming locations, culminating at the iconic house, which has since become one of the most photographed movie homes in America. This living fan culture keeps the Goonies alive not just on screens, but in real-world adventures. A rare feat for a 1985 film. Number 1. Goonies Never Say Die was almost cut. The film's most famous line, Goonies Never Say Die, wasn't always guaranteed to stay in. Early drafts omitted it entirely, and even during filming, some executives feared the phrase sounded too dark for kids. But Richard Donner fought to keep it, recognizing it as the movie's emotional core, a battle cry for misfits everywhere. Over time, the line transcended the film, adopted by fans as a mantra, printed on shirts and shouted at every reunion. It captures exactly why the Goonies endures. It's not just about treasure hunts, it's about loyalty, friendship, and refusing to give up, even when the odds are impossible. From missing octopus fights to hidden gold, this film proves there are always more secrets to uncover. And here at Vintaverse, that's exactly what we do. Unearth the forgotten, the strange, and the unforgettable stories behind the movies that shaped us. If you loved this dive into the Goonies, subscribe to Vintaverse and join the community of nostalgic explorers, because Goonies and Vintaverse fans never say die.